Alright, hello guys, welcome to my first forecast on Tropical Storm Florence. Will it become a hurricane? Will it stay a tropical storm? And where will it go? Those are the things that I'm going to cover in this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoy weather related videos, and like the video if you do like this type of video. That way I know what to make for you guys. Anyway, let's get right into it. Looking at the National Hurricane Center's forecast as of right now, we have Tropical Storm Florence just became a tropical storm this morning, was a tropical depression last night, last time I checked. It's at about 15 north off of the Cape Verde Islands, and it's heading west. We will see that direction in just a second, but let's look at the current satellite imagery. You see it's got some good spin to it. I'm not showing it in motion because I do this in a slideshow fashion, but you see that it does have some great spin to it. You can see just by the way the clouds look right there. It's a really good, structured tropical storm right now, and it's doing pretty good despite the things going against it. We will get into the things going against it right now. Well, first off, you see we're approaching the peak at September 1st. We're almost to the peak, which is September 10th, and that means things could get a lot more active right now, and throughout history they have. Now, the things that are going against it, you see all these yellow and red colors. This is Saharan dry air. This is dusty air. This stuff kills tropical storms, or at least halts development, especially those reds and pinks. The yellows they can maybe live with, but the reds, not so much. And it's moving west, so it is going to hit this stuff eventually. And we will have to see what happens with that. You can see that some of it's already getting kind of sucked in. That's typically what happens, and then it kind of eats it alive. Now, as it heads west, you got to remember that the Saharan dry air is also heading west because of the winds pulling it. It's not just sitting there, but some of it will interact. Now, how much of that interacts is really going to, change how much this storm can develop while it's out here in the ocean. Now, as far as the track goes, this is yesterday's model run. I just wanted to show this. You see that they all pulled it up north at about 40 west. They started to turn north, and now you can see it changed size because of the how far the models took it. But you can see that after 40 west they don't turn as much, and that orange one is the Euro. The European is a very good model, the ECMWF. It's known as one of the best models in the world, and that one is pulling it towards the United States. Now, I don't want to be like a fearmonger or anything. I just wanted to mention that that is showing that. I'm not going to hide information from my viewers, so that is looking like a possibility right now, though it's only one out of about 20 models being shown right here, so take it with a grain of salt, but it is one of the best models. Now, here's the GEFS, which is the GFS ensemble model. An ensemble model is like 100 models, and they take the mean average of that. It's a really good way. It's like when you ask multiple people for advice because you want multiple opinions. That's kind of how ensemble models work. It's multiple opinions, and it really leads to more accurate forecasts in a longer range spectrum, I guess you could say. This one likes to pull it north, and you can see they kind of go all over the place. And I did want to mention that about half of the models, or maybe, yeah, half the models like to take it west of where the mean average is, obviously. Maybe a bit more than average because they're pulling it further. You can see there's a few that like to take it to the United States, so we'll have to see what happens during the 12Z run, which will be out momentarily almost. And really, we're just going to have to see what happens with this. They could pull back north, or models could start to keep trending towards going towards the United States. Here is another model run, just so you can see. After 40 west, you can see they don't start that turn quite as much. And here's the strength forecast as of right now, or the intensity guidance. As far as the models are concerned, you can see some of them pull it over a Cat 1 spectrum, but really they like to keep it a tropical storm. I definitely agree with this, since everything that's going against it. The general rule of thumb is that storms can't develop in dry and high shear environments. They can survive, barely, They can survive though, maintain, but you see a strong drop off at about an hour 120 or 96. You see they drop very quickly out of the hurricane spectrum and out of the strong tropical storm spectrum completely. So you can see how that would affect it. Here's the satellite from yesterday. I just wanted to show this just so you can see how far it's come along, and then I'll show what's happening now, so you can just see in comparison how much it's developed just overnight. Anyway, here's my forecast on what's going to happen over the next few days with it, and then I have a question mark and some arrows at the very end of the forecast, as you can see, showing the 2 possible options. Everything in between is also possible, but that's it. You can see this blue area is where there is strong shear present, and then that yellow area, which I might want to mention, also takes up the entire blue area as well. You just can't see it because the blue area is on top, but there is Saharan dry air under that shear area as well. If it goes through that blue and tan area, you might look at it, try to drop away from a tropical storm, and honestly break up at that point. If it stays on the very southern end and doesn't really hit that shear, then you might be talking about it maintaining tropical storm status and then heading towards the United States, or possibly going out to sea from that point on, but we will see. You can see the 2 arrows that I have. One is going towards the United States, which is the Euro solution. I think that there's only about a 10% chance of this happening at this point. I don't really think this is the most likely outcome at all. I think that it's a lot more likely that it pulls north. There is a high pressure system out in the Atlantic that would really encourage it to be pulled north, but hurricanes kind of have a mind of their own, so it is possible past that point. You can see my red cone of uncertainty there, and I think that it will stay within this. And then at the end of it, you know, anything goes, but I really do think that it will pull north. I want you guys to stay tuned to my channel. I will have updates on this one as it, you know, the models kind of get a better handle on what this is going to do. If they finally get a handle on it, I will make a final forecast on this one, but for now this is just going to be called a first forecast, just with the uncertainty of what it does after my cone. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like if you did like the video, again, like I said, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll most likely be doing a live stream momentarily about this storm, and also I will be making a video about a storm that could be possibly heading into the Gulf over the next 3 days, I would say. And then also we will have a storm probably after this heading off of Africa by midweek, so I'll also have a video on that. Anyway, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.